Would you rather have an elephant the size of a puppy or a puppy the size of an elephant?
Whoa.
So it's a puppy-sized elephant, like a little cute little thing, or an elephant-sized puppy. Hi. And they have all the same, and they have the personality, like he's really easy to talk to. And hi, hey, good boy.
Right. So if it's like, so the big puppy has the personality of a puppy, and the elephant, the small elephant, has the personality of an
elephant, which is not necessarily a good thing. So.
Well, yeah, I haven't spent that much time with elephants, but I think little elephant, puppy-sized elephant, can squirt the little trunk, you know, like.
So cute.
Wait,
Geraldine!
Alex!
Hey! Maybe you just didn't recognize me because of this porn stash.
I love it.
The good news is it's not for a role. It's not for anything necessary. It's just for me.
It's personal.
I've been telling people for months and months and months how great your performance is in Bad Education, and finally people have seen it and now know how amazing you are. And I was just watching Hala again because I'd already seen it. And
oh, what?
Yeah, and I was watching again and kind of like rescanning, figuring out good questions, and I realized this time around you're a really good skateboarder. This isn't a prepared thing. I want to tell you, are you really doing the skateboarding?
I'm doing all the stuff that's not in the skate park.
I knew it.
I'm not in that bowl. I'm not doing those flips. Like, all the stuff that's just on the road is me. Because I did skateboard when I was a teen in a desperate attempt to be cool and to talk to boys. So it came in handy, actually. I didn't get to talk to any boys really, but I gotta know.
Okay, got
what would you like as a teen when you were Nick's age? What were you doing?
I wasn't like Nick in Bad Education as a teenager, but no, I just mean that I had a bit of a manic energy when I was, I still do, but when I was a teenager in high school, I was wild. I was like kind of a wild energy, wild card.
Yeah.
And I think I did have a little bit of the snarky energy of Nick Fleischman in Bad Education, but I think I was much more hyper.
Were you a class clown kind of situation?
Yeah, but I feel like that implies that I was successful and funny. But I think I was
right,
more
but like just being boisterous in the classroom.
Very boisterous. I was like a class distraction would be a better way.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. I always like those people.
I think we would have totally gotten along in high school. Very much. Geraldine, what were you like as a Geraldine?
As a Geraldine, I was pretty newbie. I was a little lanky dweeb. I loved drama. I loved doing skits with my friends.
Drama as in acting? Drama as in acting, or like you liked when things were going wrong in school?
Good. No, definitely drama acting. I did not enjoy conflict. I was very much like kind of friends with everyone a little bit, but loved. Because I went to performing arts school, and you could do like drama class or music class, and I was in drama and was just very much like a drama gal, and it became pretty like I loved school. I loved learning.
I loved high school too. I feel like I didn't really get along with kids as well in middle school and lower school. Like I feel like there was sometimes really I started to fit in high school.
It's really hard for me to like not be myself, and I think that in those younger years, I think that meant that people were like, she's really annoying. But
no way. What's one of the first things you do when you get like an audition in the script? Because sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I'm just at a loss. How did you do it with Bad Education?
I just read it over and over again, and have this app called Line Learner, and I can like record the other person. Like I can record both people's dialogue in the scene, and I just listen to it, and that's kind of how I'm able to remember lines, but it also helps me figure out what the scene's about, and like what, you get ideas of what could be done. He's taking notes.
Sorry, it's called line learner.
Actually, yeah, line learner.
That is really cool. I didn't know that. I always have to like bug one of my friends to like run it with me. I just like make other people run it with me constantly.
Right. That's good. I'm always so embarrassed to like act in front of people if it's not like we're filming. I'm always like, oh.
Well, but one of the things that is hard for a lot of people, including me, is staying totally relaxed and totally in your body, to be like an actor term, and staying totally like true and not pushing or not getting nervous and tensing up. And I feel like you're one of the best I've ever seen at kind of showing up and just being relaxed and really listening to other people, taking other people in. And I remember Bad Education, I was like, there's a reason that I feel so comfortable with this person acting, because I didn't know you that well. It's just that you're so, and I was wondering how you do that when you have people like Hugh Jackman, Allison Janney, and Alex Wolff on set. It's like, how do you act, you know?
Oh my God, Alex Wolff, that's so kind. It feels like sometimes pressure is actually kind of helpful. And even I liked that we were shooting on film, because it was like, you get like 3 takes and you can hear the film rolling while we're shooting, and it's...
Or when it runs out, like...
Yeah. You're like, okay, well that's done. So then you're just like, well, all I can do really is just be present and have a conversation, I guess. But I don't know, it's so much fun. It's the sweetest spot when you can just feel that comfy and free with someone, you know? Like, it was such a treat in this movie.
I agree. I mean, I talk about it as one of the best experiences of my life, and I talk about the scene for me where, as an actor, I felt like I crossed over to something else in terms of just being... I mean, it sort of changed my whole view on everything. That scene we did at the cafeteria, and it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, unbiasedly. It's just a really good pivotal moment where we decide, you know, that you're going to do it. But also it just feels like we're really locked in, and really, it's really funny. I only had a few days on this movie, and that always makes you more nervous or I had like maybe a week and a half. And when you have a week and a half, it's every day you want to make count. And it was the first time I was like, oh, I can just let go. I really don't have to be good at all. Like, just have fun. Like, it was just fun. There was nothing else. I think one of the cool parts of Bad Education, and this is, you know, very much how I feel, is that the bad people are sort of the adults doing all the bad stuff, and really mainly you, but the two of us really bring down this empire and kind of shows young people doing good. And, you know, I don't know, I'm curious how you think that's affecting the world right now of young people standing up to tyranny. I mean, I even thought that it's a little bit of an allegory for what's going on politically and in the world.
I think that our characters come across in the film, they have to end up kind of challenging the system and asking for new truth, you know? Like, I think it's a big responsibility that these student journalists uncover that these really well-trusted people have been embezzling money from the school and stealing taxpayer money. I think that, like, it's really cool to see young people not having blind faith in these authority figures and asking those questions that people just aren't bothered to ask.
I mean, it's especially hard because this is a really specific circumstance in Bad Education where we have an opportunity, we have the paper, whatever. Most of us can't vote before, you know, you're 18. And we can't really affect change. So it is kind of nice that we have like the internet and forums like that, because a lot of, like, there's cool kids like the Parkland kids and people who are having these amazing movements and things, I think, through the internet, which is kind of great. It's one of the few amazing things about the internet. And that you and I do this interview even during quarantine.